Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Edgewood Spotlight. Your host, James Hantfield. Episode 2 is going to talk about and consist of the formation and what was behind the formation of the Edgewood 96ers. Coaching AAU and boys starting out at first, I had a small AAU boys team when I first started coaching, way back in the day. That transitioned into doing girls AAU, boys AAU, and coaching some high school. Seeing how there were a lot of guys who graduated from high school who may have went to college and dropped out, or guys who may have went to college and wanted to continue to play basketball, I wanted to come up with an opportunity for guys who finished their basketball dreams. So I said, how can I try to go about creating a men's basketball team? I didn't really want to do a local rec team or playing local leagues and stuff like that. I was hoping to try to attract guys who want to maybe grab a passport, play basketball, and maybe be good enough or get good enough to maybe even go overseas and try to get an overseas contract. I want to have a stage here to where they can play, perform, and get film and maybe be seen by a scout or someone that owns a team abroad. So I did some research to see what leagues were around back in 2022. I was looked at different leagues and decided that for me, it was the ABA. The ABA stands for the American Basketball Association. Being able to be an owner, the process of getting a team wasn't very difficult at all. So that should have kind of showed me or warned me right there. Slow down, see what's going on, do some more research. No, I was very gung ho, didn't really think about the totality of owning a team. It's not just, yo, let me go get some guys and let's go play, because that was my mindset at first. My mindset, hey, I got a team, cool. I can play 20 games, 20 plus games, cool. I get to travel, we get to go places and play. Guys will love that, man. Let's go do it, Not thinking about, again, what could happen. Boy, did I learn the hard way. So back in 2023, we came up with the first 96ers team. What I did was got a couple of basketball guys who played back in the day or who did some AAU stuff back in the day. And I asked them to help me find some guys that may be able to compete on this level. Again, me not knowing, doing the research on competing on this level. I'm thinking, okay, guys who've played out of college may have that men's league mentality. Even though I didn't want to do that, I kind of had that men's league mentality. So, of course, went out and got whoever really wanted to play, who still said they could play, who play in playgrounds and men's leagues and stuff like that, and claimed they was ready for the opportunity. Well, the uh, first thing I learned during that time was guys who don't have a passport are not really serious about basketball. I had a coach told me that when I joined the league in my early years, coach out of Atlanta, the Atlanta Aliens coach, Coach Duck. Coach Duck said, James, tell you the truth, when guys come try out for us, if they don't have a passport, when they come in my gym, I turn them around. He said, because why would I work somebody out or have them come and practice and waste my time when if in the game a scout wanted them or somebody wanted some information on them and they couldn't go anywhere? Hmm, that made sense. But again, young, wide-eyed, ready to go. Yo, I'm gonna get a team. We're gonna go play. We're gonna do it. So first thing I've learned about men and basketball is that there are some guys who really, yo, this is a thing for them. Like, this is like something they do for real. They come to practice when they're supposed to. They come to practice when they're not supposed to. They're trying to get in the gym every day. They're trying to perfect their game. They really want a chance to play, but a lot of them don't know which path to take, which route to go to be able to try to get film and try to build stats. Because one thing I've learned is that usually recruiters or agents or somebody like that who has access or who is the bridge of to teams overseas, the first thing they want is film. Excuse me, are you passport ready? Do you have a passport? First, they want film. They want to be able to see what you've done against different competition. A lot of guys I'm running into, yeah, I got high school film, it's on Huddle, whatever, whatever. Or I got film for back in the day, or I got a little mixtape. No, they want actual game film. They want some highlights, but they also want game film. They want to see what you do at all aspects of the game, to determine what kind of player you are. One thing I realized also in this league, they want, and if you're a serious basketball player, they want a resume. Yes, a resume. So, James, what consists of that resume? What does that resume consist of? What do you have to have? Yes, they want to be able to see, okay, yes, you've played in JUCO, you've played in college, what position you played in college, how many minutes did you average? Did you play all 4 years of college? And it was an eye-opening thing to see, that, guys actually, the serious ones, come to the table. Here's my resume. You see, oh, this is a person, he played this position, he played this many years, this is what he averaged. Agents look for that. So part of the package you have to have is a resume. They must be able to see what you've done and the history of you in that particular sport, which is basketball, right? So being able to have a passport, also being able to have film and resume. That goes a long way to trying to get your dreams accomplished. All right, so the proper stage. Everybody compares leagues and say their league is this, their league is that, which one's better, who's better, everybody's better. I don't know. But I've joined 96ers. We are in the ABA. This is my third year in the ABA, and I must say I love it. It took me 3 years to really figure this thing out. You have to be able to figure this thing out. If you do it the right way in the ABA, you'll succeed and it'll be a fine season. If you do it the wrong way, it'll be a long season and things are horrible. And I've been on both ends of the spectrum, to be honest with you. Our first couple years was rough. Again, didn't have the right athlete, didn't have the right player, didn't have guys committed to the process. And I tried to do it all myself. One thing I was told, again, when I first joined the league is, James, one thing you cannot do is do it yourself. Nah, they don't know me. Yes, I can. Yeah. So thought I could do it all myself, coach a team, work the team out, be the driver, score. I can do it all. No, you can't. The ABA is a professional situation. People think, oh, well, it's not pro, it's semi-pro, it's whatever you want to call it, semi-pro or professional. The ABA considers themselves, and I consider them, a professional league. Now, is every team in the league professional? I would say not. Even us in the beginning, we was far from professional, far from it. A guy with some guys just trying to go play. The first year, back to the formation of the 96ers. First year, joined the league, and very excited. The first meeting, the first owners meeting was in St. Louis. St. Louis. Well, St. Louis? St. Louis. Yeah, St. Louis. So first time in St. Louis, loved it. Fell in love with St. Louis. Tanya and I, the wife, went up there and of course she stayed in the room the whole time, didn't want no part of this. So I went to the owners meeting. It was a 3 or 4 day Final Four situation. Went to the meeting, very eager, bright eyed. Let's get it. Yo, let's do this, let's do that. So at the owners meeting, you meet other owners and you meet the new teams that join the league, and The first year, of course, we was an expansion team. We just joined the league, very excited. We played in the South and everything. I was so excited. I was so ready to do it, right? So we out there and talked to different teams, different people. Joe Newman, who is the owner of the ABA, conducted the meeting, and Damon Cannon, our regional chair and vice chair, I want to say, well, excuse me, I think vice president now. Mr. Cannon was a very good guy. He kind of conducted the meeting. Matter of fact, St. Louis, he is the host team because he owned the team in St. Louis, so he's the host team. So, needless to say, the experience for me was very eye-opening. Meeting the different managers, excuse me, the different owners, uh, men owners, female owners. I mean, the whole gamut. Talk to different people, and everybody like me excited. What's this live streaming thing, this TV thing that the ABA is offering, this Abigail network, it's on Roku. What is that? These red, white, and blue balls. Oh man, I mean, I like it's kind of cool. Like, how do I get them? Where do I order them from? Uh, the uniform design, what do I need to do? I mean, everything is going through your mind. Players, situations, schedules, everything, right? So get to the meeting, and like I said, meet the people I needed to meet, had a great time, developed some friendships, kinships. So, at the time, I was putting together schedules. So again, you young, I mean, not young, but you are a new team. You're excited. You're just trying to get it right. So I'm trying to play everybody. I mean, first of all, the ABA, and I may be wrong when I say this, but the ABA has 125 plus teams. Yes, 125 plus teams all throughout the United States. And I think there's even some Mexico, I think, and the Bahamas and places like that. But I'm in my mind, this is a James thing. Let's go play in Florida. Let's go play in St. Louis. Let's go play in New Orleans. Let's get it. Like, we can go play in New York. Let's get it, right? Until it's time to get it. So one mistake I made, I'm there at the owners meeting everybody, and I'm like, "Oh, we can stay in Atlanta. I mean, we got 50 teams in Atlanta. We're right here in South Carolina. We can go play. We're in the South. We can go play all the guys in Atlanta, go to Columbus, and we can go play them guys in Florida. We can just do that and be cool, right? Fayetteville, right down the road, and I mean, Charlotte was a team, and perfect, right? No, be careful what you ask for, right? I asked for the South and was in the South. And the South is like, the South may be like, to use a football analogy, the South was like playing in the SEC. Yeah. Learned it the hard way and learned it quick. So being able to get my schedule put together while I'm in St. Louis, getting on it, getting teams information, meeting different people, learning what all the ABA had to offer, trying to cram it all in at one time. And then finally came the games. Team at that time, team from California in the finals against, I want to say, Chicago, if I can remember correctly back then. But anyway, Chicago ended up winning the championship. And so again, very excited, ready to do it. Seeing how, the final four teams, because one of the reasons why I went is I wanted to go to the owners meeting, of course, because I'm a new owner. And then I said, I want to just see what the best look like. So the final four should be the best, right? I think the Bats were there. The Bats is out of Texas. I want to say San Antonio, Houston area, something like that. I think Chicago was there. Team from California. I want to say San Francisco was there, and I want to say the East. Can't remember. I want to say it was Buffalo or somebody in the East, somebody way up there. Yeah. So I think in Chicago ended up winning because they played the semifinals one day. Then they have the all-star situation because there's all-star games that the ABA offer. All the teams East versus West or North versus South. I don't know how they do it, but they kind of separate the teams and they go at it, right? So there's an all-star game in this Final Four weekend. There's a slam dunk contest in this all-star weekend. And then there is a slam dunk all-star game. Oh, and 3-point contest in this all-star game. So yeah, it was very interesting, very fun. I recorded a lot of it because I want to see what the best four teams look like. So starting our season next year. So one thing about when we first started, we played a partial season. That was my mindset going in because our gym wasn't ready. We had acquired and the work hadn't even began yet. So I knew the gym was off out of the question. So we was able to play a few games on the road, just kind of get a feet wet and just see what's what. And I decided to try to get my feet wet in the South, and that was a mistake. Took some guys down and we practiced, had guys hungry. Yeah, let's do it. Yeah, let's get it. Let's get it. Yo, we that. Yeah. Yeah. So we played teams in Georgia. Some of the teams we played down there our first year, I want to say it was, Lord have mercy. I know definitely the Aliens, the Atlanta Aliens. Lord have mercy. Lesson learned. Very good team. Again, didn't realize the competition level here in the ABA. I'm thinking, okay, guys just playing who may have played in college. No, these guys actually play overseas. A lot of these guys have contracts. A lot of these guys come home and play with these teams or this level to stay in shape. A lot of these guys playing maybe the TBL or something like that, where they pay you like right now. So a lot of stuff I didn't know. So seeing the competition level in the South and in the ABA was very eye-opening. And needless to say, we struggled a lot the first couple seasons, trying to find the right guys, trying to find the right mix, trying to be able to maintain and do it the right way and make it to where it makes sense. So the first couple years, I would say it was a learning experience, very eye-opening and a learning experience. So this past season, I came in with a lot of hope. I came in, my number one goal this season, out of everything, my number one goal was to be able to have a team that played basketball the right way and for real, not none of the nonsense, not the stuff we've had previously. But I wanted to have a team that was looking to improve week to week and represent what we're trying to do. Everybody's not on the same page. And one thing I learned about basketball, and that goes from high school to semi-pro to pro to the whole 9 yards. Basketball players, there are different levels to basketball. Say it again. There are different levels to basketball. There's some guys who eat, drink, sleep the stuff. And there's some guys who like to have fun and play when they have time. And I do understand that life happens. Some guys, life hits them. They may have a kid or two, or may say, you know what, I got to go to the real world and get a job. Basketball's not going to pay my bills, whatever, whatever. There are guys like that, and that's understandable. But there are guys who come out the mud, like, they don't have any kids. They have a passion for this game, and it's hard. It was hard. Well, it is hard to find guys who are like that. So coming to the season, I was kind of worried about I got to find some talented guys with a resume who want the opportunity to go overseas and play basketball. I don't think where I'm located, I may not be able to find a guy like that or guys like that because it's hard finding guys with all these leagues out here and everybody's trying to get guys and sort of like AAU, there's an AAU team around every corner and everybody claim they can do blah, blah, blah. So it's kind of sort of getting like that here now with the men's and all these leagues and all this stuff going on. But actually, this season, before the season started, went to the owners meeting. And again, very, very interesting owners meeting. I took it more serious. I was more focused and I was more ready to do the things that I know I needed to do. So I was very, very humbled. Yeah, very humbled because I can't do it myself and it's a process. Doing it the right way, there is a process to doing it the right way. So I finally learned that. So had me a coach in place, wanted to get the right group of guys who I thought the right group of guys, and I wanted to go ahead and see how the season progressed. So I put first of all, Gotta tell you, I got out the South. Woo, got out the South. Yeah, ran out the South. I just felt like it, it was it's okay. Being an expansion team, I just felt like the South, there are more established teams, been there 15, 20 years. Like them guys been there and done that for a long time, right? So you're not gonna go and you're not gonna go play the aliens and yeah, because you're the new kid and you're not going to Columbus and play them. And I just felt like everybody was too comfortable and familiar with each other for an expansion team. Like, referees are, laughing, giggling with you the whole time, and you're the visitor and you're by yourself and you're in Columbus and it's a crowd of people and referees on. I know. So got out the South, came to the East. So I said, I'm going to make sure that whatever we got to do, we finish the season. That's my goal. Win a game, don't win a game. I want to get through the season and finish at the end and see how it goes. All right. So came into the season, we were placed in the East. I want to say the East Red Division, and I was very excited about the opportunity. At that time, we had Fayetteville, we had Greensboro, we had Winston Salem, we had Johnson City, Tennessee, I believe it was. So we had Reedsville, Richmond. So I was very excited. I was like, okay, we can go to Johnson City. We can go to Fayetteville, Greensboro, Winston-Salem. Perfect. We can do a back-to-back, whatever, whatever. Perfect. So when we got down to the nitty-gritty, time to get it in, the schedule changed. So we had to make it do. We had to make it do what it do, right? So some teams dropped out, some teams, whatever, we changed divisions and whatever, whatever. So again, my thing was getting through the season. Oh, let me revert back first before I get to the actual season. The players. So I was worried about players. I had guys returning, JJ coming back. We had worked out over the summer. JJ is Jonathan Johns Jr., number 5. JJ went to play with the aliens when our second year when we finished. I think John went and played with the aliens, so we got the experience playing with the South champions, the aliens. And so that next summer we had workouts. We was going to play different teams. I was trying to put the team together, find the right guys, find the right chemistry. So we would scrimmage. We would have scrimmage games in the summertime, exhibitions. We'll go play quality teams, play teams in Virginia Beach, the Black Vipers, I believe it was. Very good team, belonged to another league, so it was good for us to get outside the ABA and just play. We went down and played Savannah, the Savannah Hurricanes. Very great organization, very good team. I like those guys down there. So was able to try to find the right chemistry, the right guy. So I get a phone call one day. This gentleman calling from Charlotte. His name is Edmund Lara. And I said, look, he called. He said, look, no. What happened? I got an email from the owner. It was an email, and I guess Ed reached out to Mr. Newman and said, I'm in this area. I'm looking for a team, whatever, whatever. So he sent us out. He sent the information, whatever, whatever. So some kind of way, me and Ed connected and had a conversation on the phone. So I said, Ed, I want to see how serious he was because everybody is that guy until it's time to be that guy. So I said, Ed, you serious about playing? You in Charlotte. That's you in Charlotte. So I said, okay, if you're sincere, come down, let's have a meeting and we'll discuss it. So he said, okay, cool. So we decided on a day to come down. He came down. That surprised me. He was on time. Another thing that surprised me. And he brought his wife with him, which I thought was cool. So we had a conversation and I loved it. Oh my God. Like he said, James, look, I'm a winner. Everywhere I go, I win. High school, I'm state champion. In college, national champion. I played overseas. That's a resume. So fall like what can we what can we do, right? So had a conversation. He said, okay, I want to come play. I said, look, I need a commitment from you because you have the accolades, you have everything you need. Like what's the deal? He said he had got hurt overseas and he's trying to get himself back together to go back overseas. I said, well, I need you to commit to me for a year. You commit to me until March, middle of March, playoff time, whatever, whatever. We're good. I would love to have you. And I'll make you the face of the franchise. I mean, starting fresh, new, let's do it, right? So he said, well, I got to be honest with you. I got a meeting with the Kings or whatever, what the Carolina Kings, and but I'm gonna play here. I said, no, no, because I don't want to be, the second choice. I mean, I don't want, you go have your meeting. If that's what you feel like you need to do, you go play with the Kings. No hard feelings. The Kings, I mean, they're my people. I like the Kings, so no thing. You want to go, right? So Ed ended up signing to play with us, which is cool. So then I found out he was trying to do a little bit of playing with us and playing with the ECBL team. Yeah, it was the ECBL team in Charlotte. And they was in the off season, and he wanted to get some run with them and then come play with us too. One of the things I don't like to do is have you playing for two teams. If you playing for two teams, you play for one team. So I just know, yeah, I can't do that. Even though you're the perfect prototype of the guy we want to build around, I can't do that, man, because I just can't. So I think we had a scrimmage game here, red against blue, and Ed came in gingerly, and I knew something was wrong. He came in, barely. We played a scrimmage game, red versus blue, and but he just looked like he wasn't like he was doing too much. So I finally came out. He was working out with the ECBL team, and he got dinged with a knee thing or something, the bump knees or whatever. So I think I kept Ed out of the scrimmage game, or he played sparingly or whatever it was, but he decided to let that ECBL thing go. So we got Ed Laura on board, and it was a big, big, big acquisition. So Ed has done a lot for us, and I really appreciate the time he was here. So that kind of opened the gates. So now I got a guy who has played overseas for real, got paid for playing. I got a guy who's a national champion and a guy who is a state champion, right? So honestly, I'm good with that. Give me that, and I'm good. So get another phone call, Coach. I live up here in Anderson. I play basketball. I went to college. I have my resume. You have what? I have my resume. I have film from college. So I said, send me that information. Let me see, whatever, whatever. So honestly, I kind of took it in. I ain't really look at it the way I should have. I said, let's have a conversation. Again, my test this year was, if you're new, I don't know you, you come down. If you come down, you're on time, we talk, I get a feel for you, cool, right? I don't smell weed, cool, right? You come in, we meet, I don't smell weed, half the battle, cool. So he came down, little guy, man, little. I'm talking about little, like, right? So I'm like, okay, you played, man. You played, okay. So had a conversation, and he told me something, and we was talking. Oh, yeah, man, you're Anderson, blah blah blah. Yeah, coach, I went to West Side. I said, ooh, West Side, ding ding ding, okay. And I got a scholarship to college. I played whole 9 yards. I think he made a all-star, not all-star team. He was a all something. Was it? I don't know if it's all region or high score something. He got some kind of award in college, right? I forgot what it was. I was like, oh, that's big, man. Cool, right? And it was something he said to me. I kind of laughed it off, but he was like, actually, I said, do you know so and so? Because they live up that way too, and they played. It's I'm gonna tell you, I'm not so and so. Okay. He said, you're gonna see. I'm not that at all. Okay, we'll see. Everybody's the guy until it's time to be the guy. He said, Coach James, I promise you. It came out his mouth. Ain't big as, anyway, I promise you, we're going to turn this thing around. Let's see. Okay, cool. So I said, okay, we got him on board now. And this guy, sorry, his name is O'Darius Cade. All right. So I had O'Darius on board. So cool, point guard, the toughest position on the floor. I got Ed, kind of an all around guy, shoot it, whatever. Just kind of the glue that holds everything together. So cool. So I'm on cloud nine. I'm like, yo, we good. We got enough to compete, right? Get another phone call. God blessed me this year. I ain't gonna lie, blessed me this year. Hey, I want an opportunity to come play for your team. I said, cool, man. You got any experience? Yes, sir. I played in college. Where'd you play in high school? Well, where'd you play in high school? I played at Legacy National Team, junior college. I mean, I played at Legacy. I said, oh, the high school team? No, the national team. You played at Legacy, the national team? Yes, sir. I need to meet you immediately. So we set a date, and he came down, and yeah, my criteria to come in, resume, ready to go, can play, didn't smell weed. That's half the battle. So came in, had a conversation. He's probably the most humble young man that I've probably have met in the last few years. It wasn't anything about him. I just want to hoop. I just want to hoop. The eye test was perfect. Nice size, looked like a basketball player, but until you get him on the court, you don't really know. So, of course, he had film. Of course, he had, everything was ready. Everything was legit. So, CJ Jameson is the kid's name. CJ Jameson Jr. Sorry. I said, what number do you wear, son? He said, I wear number 3. And at that time, I had number 3. So, I think CJ started out at number 1. Put him in number 1. So, anyway, so we got this talent, right? So I'm like, yo, it's going to be special. At least I thought it was. Sorry, okay. Another kid came into play. Kid named, got another situation. One of the older guys brought a kid down. He's like, Coach, this is my friend. His name's Jacoye. He played basketball and, he interested in playing with us. Must admit, when I saw Jacoye, mm-mm. They say you can't judge a book by its cover. That's true. I ain't gonna lie, I was scared of Jacoye. No, I can't take you somewhere. And no, when I met Jacoye, got to know that young man, loved him. I mean, as Jacoye that was my guy. I just always tease him and be like, yo, man, if anything ever pop off and in one of these games, I need you to stand in front of me. Hey, Coach, I got you. This kid was so humble. He was so eager, you know. I came across a song and it reminded me of him. Something about, everybody want the crown. Everybody want to wear the crown, but don't want to show the scars. Let that sink in for a minute. Because it hit me and I was like, Jacoye. Meaning people have a history. Things happen to people, but some people take that and learn and build and try to make go this way. Now, when I saw him, I was like, oh, no, can't. No, I'm trying to get sponsors. But when you know the young man, intense, very intense. But I have not one problem out of Jacoye. Love that kid. Love him. So I it's coming together. Like, yo, for real? So practice or whatever. Like had Ed and Odarius and Jacoye and JJ and CJ, and I'm like, the basketball god smiled on me. Thank you so much. Thank you. Right. So I had a guy coaching them, and I said, look, no offense, it's not trig, it's not trigonometry, it's not brain surgery. Okay. I need this guy on the floor, this guy on the floor, this guy on the floor, and this guy on the floor. It's not trig. Those guys got to be. That's 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 the nucleus. That's what we're about. These guys right here. I gotta have them on the floor. You're the coach. You do your thing, but I gotta have these guys on the floor. I just do. Okay. First game, CJ on the bench. Uh, wasn't happy. Not at all. Not happy. So played the game. CJ eventually got in and came off the bench. I think CJ may have scored 22, 25, something like that on the bench. That resume. Played for the national team legacy, but he on the bench. Okay. So first game we down in Fayetteville. Good game in the beginning, going back and forth. They had some players down there. I was, Treasure Hiffney, I think her name is. That's my girl, that's my basketball sister. I love to go play in Fayetteville, and she's very accommodating down there. Played Fayetteville, pretty good game. Guys played very well down there. We end up winning game one. I think the leading scorer was O'Darius. CJ did his thing. Um, and Ed was kind of the glue that kept everything together. But again, in my mind, I'm thinking Ed is still hurt. He trying to play through it, but he's not what he is. That was in my mind. So we played at Fayetteville, came out of there with a win. I was so excited. I'm like, yo, I'm done. Hey, we won first game ever in the East. I'm good. We won on the road. If I win another game, I'm good. That was my mentality. I'm good, right? So second game was supposed to be at. We played October 15th. It was at Fayetteville. We were supposed to slide over and play. Let me get it right. We were supposed to slide over and play Greensboro, the Kings, but something happened. Jim couldn't get something. Something went haywire, wrong, something. So we didn't get a chance to play, right? So started out 1-0. Okay, so next game on the road again. We in we're in Reedsville, the Reapers. So I told the guys, look, one in Fayetteville, but this is not Fayetteville. This team right here is gonna show you what you're really about. This team here in Reedsville is gonna put it on you, and you're gonna realize that that last game's last game. Guys went up there, showed out at Reedsville. Honestly, I got to be honest with you. I think Reedsville didn't take us seriously. I think they just thought we was the team we used to be. So Reedsville, I think, didn't really take us seriously, but played the game and skate. We got out of there. I think we won by double digits, I think, if I can remember. Got out of there. So I'm like, cool. Damn. We beat at Fayetteville. We won at Reedsville. Could have won at, let me stop. Yeah, could have won at Winston and could have won at Greensboro. But let me stop. Let me digress. So, first home game. Since I've been in this ABA thing, first home game, right? Oh, I'm nervous as all get out. We're playing Richmond. Richmond Ram Chargers. So I said, first I'm scared. Are they gonna show up? They're coming from Richmond. Are the guys gonna play like they've been playing? And we 2-0. I'm good. I'm happy. We 2-0. I'm like, yo, we'll win again. I'm good, right? Richmond came in. I'm talking about looked like pros. They came in. They went in and got dressed. They came out. Everybody, they came in out in a straight line, and they went outside of the venue and went down the walkway and came inside where the people come in at, and they came in our gym, single file line, everybody wearing the sweatsuits, and they're playing the song "Put It On" for my city, on from. I was like, oh, boy, Richmond, the suits are pros, like they're that, right? So they're that. Richmond really impressed me. I can't lie. I mean, I had my little stuff out, I had my little merch going on. Scoreboards, shot clock. I'm feeling good. Richmond came in there. I'm like, ooh, something put on for my city, on for my yeah. So I'm like, ooh, they for real, right? I think we may have been their first game. I think I'm not sure, but anyway. So played Richmond back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. It's fourth quarter. We're up. Please hold on, please. My first game ever, ABA home game. Please, 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 please. Let's beat Richmond. Please, first home game. Please. Guys came through, beat Richmond. Wow. So I'm like, you know what? We got a little something here, right? This thing might be a little something here, right? So 3-0, like, man, love it, man. I love the energy. I love, the guys were locked in. Then the one thing came out of this that I didn't really expect to come. I should have expected it. Jealousy reared its ugly head. Anytime you have something going good, it's always those that feel like, I don't care. We're undefeated, so things are going great. So we're actually putting things together like a team. So, um, so needless to say, there was a little animosity going on, and maybe I shouldn't say all this, but I'm just put it out there. This was the season. Some guys didn't like other guys. Some guys thought some guys getting too much shine. Some guys thought, it ain't all about resumes. You don't care. Resumes don't mean nothing. Playing overseas don't mean nothing. People actually had that mentality. So we end up playing at Florida, ranked in the top power rankings, top 25 for the first time ever. First time ever. Guys ranked. Guys feeling good. Guys happy. Going down to Fayetteville. I'm not sorry. Let me get it right. Going down to I think it was in Lakeland, Florida, to play Polk County Royals. I knew Polk County was good. Polk County is always good. Owner name the owner name is Amy. She's about their life. Amy's about their life. She her team was good. She'll tell you they're good. And dare you to dispute it. Uh, so she's about their life. So the guys are going down there. So I said, you know what? I'm gonna get you guys squared away. The Airbnb, all that, transportation, all that. I'm not going. I just don't want to go. Y'all go do that, right? So, because I'm thinking grown men and you know all that, right? So get down there, and it was an adventure getting down there. Van wanted to act up, the whole thing, but we got down there, thank God, and guys got situated, and game started. Game was live streamed, so I was at home watching the game, and at home watching the game. Turned the game on, watching it. Started out, okay, okay, yeah. I think halftime I had turned the game off. No, when he had time, first quarter, I turned the game off. Very disappointed, very upset. So, uh, so we lost down in Florida. It was the worst game we've played. Mm, Jealousy, animosity, our stuff, So end up getting down there and showing out, and we end up losing, I think by 10. So even that, Lakeland, excuse me, Polk County Royals, very good team. I ain't tripping. 3-1. I ain't tripping. I'm good, right? So, but some of the shenanigans that went on down in Florida, I made a decision. I said, you know what? No, I'm not keeping this group. Sorry, it's starting to become a problem. 3-1, and that was a problem. Hmm. So we cut it down to about 7 or 8, I think we had, and Just want to get through the season. Let me go back. 3-1, very good team, playing great, going to Florida. Not us. Anyway, so we lose in Florida. We're supposed to play the Aliens the next week. And to make matters worse, get this. We're supposed to play the Aliens in the Hawks Arena, the Atlanta Hawks Arena. We showed out so bad down in Florida. I was like, no, I'm not doing it. I'm out of regroup. So we regrouped. So we didn't play we didn't play the Aliens. So I regret that a lot. Because I want to see O'Darius against the Aliens. I want to see Ed. I want to see CJ against the Aliens and Jacoye. But yeah. So didn't play the Alien game. So regrouped and we had to play I think Reedsville again. No, Carolina for the first time. We had to play Carolina. Carolina came. No, let me get it right. We played Reedsville. Reedsville came in like, yo, we ain't scared of nobody. We play anybody. We ain't scared. We ain't scared. You know, y'all won up there, but we ready now. I'm like, oh, they came in with confidence. I'm like, well, I'm kind of worried about that. And I also knew they was pretty good anyway, or should have been. So I thought they was ready now because they got their people and they're good. So they came to us like, this our house. So cool. So I think we beat them by probably about 30 something, I believe it was. Had it, I mean, the guys played so well together, it was ridiculous. Like Ed and CJ and O'Darius and John and Jacoye, they just played very well together. And it was like a self-contained unit because I didn't have a coach, so they kind of ran their thing and did their thing. I loved it, man, and it worked. So they that won big against Reedsville, right? So we had Carolina coming in for the first time. I said, well, we hadn't played Carolina. They had just thumped somebody. I think they thumped somebody out of Atlanta. Their home game they had the previous week, and they came down here. And there's a kid on that team. I forgot his name, but I think it's number 9, light skinned kid. I really, really, really admire that kid, and I forgot his name, but I love that kid. So I told the guys, whoever would listen, I said he's gonna come down here and thump. He's gonna come down here and score 40 by himself. That because he's that good. He's gonna come down here and score 40. They came down here and he was there. Was I happy? That'll be a yes. So Carolina came down. That kid wasn't there. I think we won by about, I forgot. It was up. It was 40 something, 30, whatever it was. So really enjoyed that game. So, but the kid wasn't there. So that was their thing. I said he wasn't there. Okay, that wasn't probably their real team. So okay, cool. But we won, right? And we needed that bounce back win anyway because the Florida debacle, right? So get that win. So then that was Carolina. Then I think I said Reedsville already. Then Carolina came in. Then we had to go to I think Reedsville again, and uh, oh my God, that time in Reedsville. Ooh, and see, I felt going up there like this is Reedsville. We done smoked them. We beat them pretty good 2 times. So right, so get up there, and I don't know who that was. It was we was down fourth quarter. We was like it was. I don't know who that was, but it was, and I mean, it was to even Tanya came to the game in the stands, and it was back and forth. It was a nail biter, right? So it was funny. I probably never forget this. I think we was up fourth quarter. We was a minute remaining, I think it was, and we got a steal, and I called timeout. So I said, look, we got the ball. We're up. It's a minute left. Let's put the ball in CJ's hands. I want the ball in CJ's hands. That's it. Put the ball in CJ's hands. So I think Ed took offense to that. So put the ball in CJ's hand. So Ed gave me the look like put the ball in CJ's hand. So they were on the floor. Seconds remaining. They got the ball around, swung it. Some kind of way Ed had in his hands, right? So Ed launched a three from damn near half court. Like what the number nets? Good shot. So we came out of there with a win. I think we won by 4 points or something. But oh my God, I said I don't want to play Reedsville no more. So that was a tough fight, tough fight. But the guys came out there with a win. I said, Ed, at the end of the game, I had to go to him and like, Ed, what was that about, man? Like, on the ball in CJ hands. But I guess when you want to, you feel like you're the guy, and then I say do something else. You want the responsibility of being the guy, because if he'd have if he'd have missed that shot or been and we lost, that'd have been a problem. But it did what winners and guys do, who are the guy. Like they made the statement, and he looked at me like, "Okay, coach, you said that, but I'm gonna do this, and this is gonna work," and it worked. So I learned that okay, look, my lane, as I said earlier in my last video, I have a lane, and it's my lane. So cool. So we won that game, escaped Reedsville, and I never forget leaving out of there. The owner told me, "Look, man, you probably had the best team in the East, and but we'll see in the playoffs or whatever he said." And it was a thing. So ended up getting through the season. You know, we had some teams that kind of couldn't play for whatever reason. We had some teams that couldn't get down to South Carolina. You know, all that. So and then we unfortunately had an owner that passed away. We supposed to play them twice, and it was a thing. So God bless his family. God bless loved ones and friends. But we end up probably the toughest road trip I knew we was going to have. We end up having to go to Richmond and DC Senate. Now, mind you, I haven't seen DC Senate because they didn't come down here. They didn't come. We scheduled to play, they didn't come. So, but I told myself, self, you're going to finish the season. It was on schedule. You're going to do it. Self, that's what you're going to do. So, even though this side of me said, James, look, they ain't coming to you, so you ain't going to them. Yeah, no, we ain't finna do that. DC, they ain't come to us. So, but I said, we're going, yeah, so 7 guys, depleted team, 7, 8 guys, whatever I had time. We made that the real road. The road trip is gonna make us or break us. So I at least needed to have. I had to have the game in Richmond. I had to have it. I had to have it. Like it was no ifs, ands, or buts about it. They was beating people, and we was beating people, and they was beating people, and it was just like right there. And any one of us could have won it. And I'm like, I gotta win. Can we win the division for real? But the game's gonna tell the tale was Richmond. So needless to say, I'm nervous as all get out. And honestly, I felt we was lucky to beat them down here in South Carolina. So get to Richmond. They called for snow. So I got the guys up there, went up there to Richmond, and it was a very nice crowd. Cheerleaders. I mean, it was a very good atmosphere. I love them people from Richmond. I think the owner, Mr. Hassan, it's good, great organization. I really like his team. And their female coach, I forgot her name, but I like her a lot. Like she's about that life for real. But anyway, so the guys played and end up winning at Richmond. Never forget, Ed called me and said, "Hey, coach, we won." I'm like, what? Yeah, coach, we won. Y'all won at Richmond? So he sent me the film, and we won at Richmond. So I'm on cloud 15. I'm so happy. You couldn't. 15, right? So we end up going to DC Senate. See why they didn't. Let me try to explain the Senate. From what the guys told me, they put teams together to host games, and they pay players to play teams. And the guys were saying they was paying the TBL players or whoever player, whatever players, it was paying them to play in that game to go against us because we was number one team. So they wanted to beat us. And they went all out and tried to beat us up there. And they did. We think we lost by 4 points. Game started like an hour and a half late than it was supposed to. Different location. Yeah, it was that. Starting to snow a little bit, I think it was. The game wasn't in DC. It was in some part of Maryland or something. So, needless to say, the guys were exhausted, tired, and spent. And we lost that game. We lost about, I think it was 4 points. So the Senate did get us and promised they would come down here and get a rematch down here, which they were supposed to. And of course they didn't. So anyway, guys, but they won the game at Richmond. So end up doing that and end up being a great season for us. We end up regular season champions. Regular season champions. Love it. Yes, I'm gonna get a banner. Yes, I'm cheesy. Yes, I got guys rings for winning. Yes, I did do that. Cheesy, don't care. Went from worst to first. Yes, love it. Can't be no happier. And it made me more excited about the ABA. It made me more excited about because I know there are guys out there that really play basketball for real. And I need to just find those guys. No offense to anybody else that's been here, but again, there's different levels to basketball. There's different levels. Sorry, it just is. And I'm very excited about next year. I'm very excited about the Final Four this year. April 10th through the 12th in Atlanta. Very excited about the guys who are participating from our team. Yes, our team. Guys participating in a big weekend. 3-point contest, dunk contest, and hopefully the All-Star game. We'll have some guys representing the Edgewood 96ers. And to close out, I want to say this year, in summation, I had a great time. I learned a lot. I learned you can't trust everybody with your product. Everybody don't have the same desires and don't have the same vision as you do. People don't look at what you do. They look at what they can get from you. And I've learned that this year. But I also learned that there are guys out there that can come together and be champions. And that's what happened. So the biggest, I ain't got time, but I got to throw this in. Before the end of the season, February, I want to say, I got a phone call. Well, I knew Ed, me and him made a decision. Me and him made an agreement that he was going back to Romania and play if they contact him, whatever. So I said, cool. Romania overseas call, you got to go, you got to go. So, and what happened, Romania didn't end up getting with him. So he ended up going back overseas. So, but before that, almost last week of the season, like almost, last week of the season, whatever, for the playoffs and all that, Ed tells me, me and CJ going to try out with the TBL in Indianapolis. What? Me and CJ, I was furious, beyond mad, beyond. Guess what happened? Both guys got picked in the first round. I think CJ went like 16th or something like that, and Ed went 20 something, I believe it was, and I lost both of them. Lost both left. I think CJ is playing in Canada, somewhere up that way. I think CJ's team, I think CJ Jameson's team, the owner's wife, I think, owns that team. Just saw the other day, CJ was the MVP of one of the games, most valuable player. CJ, every time I look and see his stats, he's scoring 20 points or doing something that CJ does. That's a great kid and a great player. I miss CJ. I miss CJ a lot. I knew he was that. I knew he was that. You know, when he said legacy national, I knew he was that. But he's up there playing in Canada now, doing very well, and MVPs. And he's playing in the TBL. Ed did go to Romania. He was drafted, I think, by a team out of Washington State, I believe. And he ended up, I don't know if he ended up going there or what happened, but I know he went to Romania. And I don't know if he stayed or if he came. I don't know. But I wish him well. And he is a winner. He told me, he said, "Look, I win everywhere I go," and he did. And he brought a sense of professionalism to the 96ers. I got to give it to him. I trusted him and I believed in him, and he did it. I mean, he was the glue. I thought kept everything together. And but losing him and CJ when I lost him, but then Darius Cage stepped up, JJ stepped up, Leonard stepped up, was a late addition. Leonard Williams, Joshua Smith, a late addition, stepped up, and these guys can play. So we have some guys that's going to help us and build in the future, and I'm looking forward to it and very excited about it. But yeah, I love it. Had a great season. Looking forward to the All Star weekend. Already booked and loaded, ready to go, and looking for games next year and being ready to go in probably next October as well. But thanks for watching. Again, the Edgewood Spotlight. Keep supporting us. Edgewood, the 96ers is Sixers.com. Again, that's E96ers, 96ERS.com. And social media page, Facebook page, E96ers, Edgewood 96ers. Sorry, I think it's Edgewood CC 96ers on Facebook, Instagram. Yeah, so follow us, stay tuned. Always looking for talent. Again, if you have that criteria, if you're just playing or if life has hit you and you're in life now, you got kids and can't come to practice and work and look, I understand. That's not what we're doing here. It's not fair to guys who sacrifice. So again, I appreciate it. Talk to you soon.